so through the bear market, because 2021 the BTC peaked, and 2022, 2023 were more or less a very dreadful bear market. But I've continued with the analyst track with Flipside, and yeah, it's been quite a journey, quite a few lessons learned. A lot of chains passed. Some of those chains no longer exist due to hacks or just bankruptcies or Terra Luna, which I think most of the folks will know what happened to Terra Luna. But yeah, so let me share some stuff. I'll start presenting. Oh, wait, 1 second. I can't seem to share my agenda topics, so let me figure out how to do it. I'll give it 30 more seconds. Oh, there we go. Can you see the doc now? Are you guys able to see the agenda doc?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to start. This is roughly the agenda for this office hours. So we'll not be jumping straight into the SQL or the tables or how, like, the best practices. I'll just walk you through from the start, like how I have come to expect from analysts making dashboard, or like just doing not just analysis, like just random code. Because apart from the bounty hunting and dashboards that I do on Flipside, I am a full-time employed as a software engineer. So most folk tend to write SQL as they're just writing SQL for themselves. But like, yeah, I'll just walk through over. So we'll just do some before you start, or how you should proceed with SQL. Then I'll walk you through over some of the common errors that people have been from this group, or like just the Silver League have been doing over the past 2 to 3 weeks that I've been reviewing. And then some of the advanced stuff. And then lastly, a bit important aspect of things is like overall general conduct, ethics, and which in turn affects your brand. And some of the negatives that I've seen happening, and then just conclude with a Q&A. Switching tab again. Is the Flipside tab visible?
Yes, it is.
All right. So 1 second. If I go to, okay, let's just open this one. All right, this is actually well coded. Just head back a second, find it films. So when you're writing SQL and you're like making a submission online, or like just a Flipside dashboard, your dashboards are public by default and you share them on Twitter as well. So majority of the time you might expect like people won't be opening up your queries, but that is what reviewers do, and that is what other people who you might be pitching your work to will do as well, because everyone won't just take your dashboard at face value. They'll be looking into your SQL. So majority of the times what I see the new people doing is they do not pay much attention to how they're formatting their SQL. Like it'll all be just cobbled together as a group, and like over here I have fields separated in new lines, the column names. But in most cases, it will be something like this, all stretched into a single line. And it'll go beyond the scroll as well. So you have to actually go scroll to the right to see what else is there in that. So that affects your readability. So when you write enough SQL and when you also read enough SQL, that ends up taking the reader's time or the reviewer's time. So here, what you want to do is keep it concise and like use indents everywhere. Use new lines. There's no penalty. It doesn't increase your query runtime. It doesn't take the query longer if you add spaces, commas, indents, and new lines. And the other thing is sometimes people do not name their CTEs in something sensible. It'll be like just let one letter A, T, A, B, C, D, something of that sort. So if not just SQL, any code you write, you want to write it in a manner that if you've written it today, you come back after a week, or if someone else comes after a week, person can go through your code and just understand what you have done. So if you look at the CTE names here, I'm looking at a token and I'm looking at its flow into the sexes as well as the dexes and wherever else it can trade. So that's why I'm looking at this flow into centralized exchanges. It's selling on the decentralized exchanges, which is Uniswap and the other Camelot and other dexes. So that's what I'm doing. So I've split up this search into two CTEs. The first one is the sex flows. The other one is sex flows, and then the master search where I'm combining all the stuff from dexes. And then I just look it up, the sex flows there, and that's about it. Everything is organized, and if I do not look at this SQL and come back to it after a month, I can clearly recall what I was doing in this query. And I can also easily explain it to someone even after like 1 month or 2 months without any issues. So what was next on the agenda? Yes, one more tip. Is my screen font visible or is it too small? I'm unsure.
Maybe you make it a bit bolder. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is this better?
Yes, it's better.
Yeah. So there are some tricks that can make your writing SQL faster, and those are the tricks that I have in the agenda as well. So majority of the SQL you'll see is you'll be like doing a select and then the field column name, comma, next column name, comma, of this sort. I'll just comment it all out. It'll be like ABC, EFG, XYZ. So the problem with like this is the standard way to write SQL, but if you'll notice over here, I'm doing the first field name, then I'm not doing a comma, I'm doing the comma before the next column name, and then the next column name, no comma again, and the comma precedes the field name, apart from the first case. So what happens here is, what this helps is, so if you're trying to debug, you've hit a compilation error or your logic is not working and you want to just comment out this thing. The shorthand for that is Control+/. If people are not aware, on Windows, it'll be Command/ on Mac. So if you do this and then you run the search, you can't run it exactly because what do you call it? Wait, yeah. If I comment this out, it will throw an error because there's an extra comma here. I'll have to delete this and then run the whole entire search again. Because if I don't remove the comma, it expects another field, but I've already commented out that field. So that ends up being an issue with the right comma approach. So for this, majority of the analysts, like if you look at dashboards from some of the folk like Marku and others, they all use left commas because it just makes it looks far more presentable, and is very easier to work with. The other hack you can use to speed up your where clauses is using this one is equal to one as the first clause. Because if you notice, the first clause always has to be followed by every other clause with an and. So if you don't have an one equal to one, and so your clauses are normal, it will be something like this, where this is the first clause, so it does not have an and, but every second and third clause have an and. But what if you want to, like for debugging reasons, you want to comment it out? You also have to go and edit this and, because now it becomes the first clause. And if you try to compile it with the and in place, you'll get an error because it'll throw something like unexpected and, because this is now the first clause. So never mind. Reverting it back to one equal to one. With one equal to one being the first clause, you bypass that and because every actual clause will have an and before it. Otherwise, it won't compile. So you can eliminate any of these ands as comments, and you can keep running the search because you won't get a compilation error or the syntax error. So that was the two hacks: the left comma, usage of left comma, and adding a one equal to one as the first clause in your where. Okay, that's the first part of the agenda. And then we'll be doing some stuff with the actual tables that Flipside has. I'll just start a new fresh search. So the last set of reviews that I did, people were having issues even getting the swap volume with the easy tables. So let me go to Ethereum. Are people having their Flipside open or notes, taking notes or something? Because we can code side by side. Not sure how you guys have your office sessions.
Yes. Some persons should have their, flip side open while some are jotting.
Okay, yeah. Or you can just take notes like the steps I'm mentioning and then practice later on. So the coin we'll do the analysis on is, let me find Pepe's contract address, 1 second. I'm just going to Etherscan on the other tab. All right, I'm back on the tab. So we'll be doing the Ethereum database, but the easy tables are same across all the L2s. So the logic will remain, and the logic will carry over to other chains as well. When they have their swap or dexes, the swap function is more or less similar. So we'll go to easy dex swaps. We'll just write the skeleton of the queries. Let's start from Ethereum.easy. Wait, there's a B file. Easy dex swaps. So the first thing that I saw from the majority of folks trying to analyze either a token or like the tokens, like a meme coin dashboard or like DEX volumes, DEX stats for a particular token or how many holders or whatever trending token or airdrop stuff or trading activity of a token. The first problem what people did for a token is the where clause for most of those dashboards were wrong. Why? Because now let's go to the easy DEX swaps table. If you're not aware of what the columns of a table are going to be, you can click on it and you'll get an idea of what all fields it has. But even if like you want to get an example of what kind of values those look like, you can just click this preview table and it'll take you to a dummy set of results. So here, what people were making a major mistake in was where is token in? Yes. So say we are looking for token Pepe, which is contract address is this. What people did was they only either looked at token out equal to this as the where clause or token in, not both of them. But the actual, if you want the actual results, you have to take in both of these cases. So what the case looks like is, and when dealing with contract addresses, it is also good to like just add a lower function to it, because sometimes when you pull the addresses off of scanners, they are at times capitalized. Like the Ethereum addresses are capitalized. They are capitalized because there's a checksum built into the address string. But if they're all lowercase, you can be safe. But if you want to avoid effort and just always checking if it's uppercase, lowercase, mixed, just add a lower function and you can just blindly paste in the contract strings or address strings. And token in. So token in means the Pepe coin is going in and it's being swapped for something else. So this token in as a token usually can be interpreted as a sell, because you're trading the token you are observing and replacing it with something else in the DEX swap. So that covers only the selling side of things. And then we have an OR case, token out. We just copy paste this here. So this forms an actual, your actual clause for the swap being Pepe specifically, Pepe the fraud. If you do not cover both of these, the buys and the sells, the token in and the token out being the contract or the token you're observing, your data will be half, or like not even half, it will cover only one side of the thing, either the buys or the sells. So it has to be both. Otherwise, your dashboard is completely wrong. And then always also, ideally, your first clause should always be the block timestamp range, because unless you specify this, it will cover since the inception of the chain, which can slow down your searches quite a bit. There's a shorthand for this as well. Current date is like the system's date on which the query engine is running. So this current date as per Snowflake. We can do this just a week's data. So current date -7 means it will be 17th May, I guess. Just do 8, I guess. Yeah. So now you'll actually be pulling all the data where Pepe is a token, whether it's a buy or a sell, whether it's a token in or a token out. So this was a critical mistake that people were doing in just swaps data. Wait, oh, okay. So this is a CTE. I need to actually select something from base again so that it be see an actual output. So here you can see, where is the symbol in? Yeah, symbol in is symbol out, Pepe, but we are also getting symbol in as Pepe, and so this is a sell. These are buys because the Pepe is coming out. Pepe is going in, something else is coming out. That's a sell. So the other thing was, I think some folk were having trouble doing the sell or the buy side of things. Like what is the sell volume? What is the total volume? So for the trick for that is because this is not just going to be swaps. This can be something like stake, unstaked, or loans taken, loans repaid, something of that sort as well. So this, you can apply a similar code to a lot of things. We'll just do. I'm just setting this as the group by field. And we'll do a case statement. Case when token in is our selected one. So this means when token in is this, I'll minimize the output for now. The text is still visible, right?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So when token in is equal to whatever contract, whatever condition you want, so then it's a sell else buy and as tag. You can name it whatever field. So now once you have established this, now we can do a simple sum of the swaps amount in, out. Here it doesn't matter which amount you take because ignoring slippage, the amount in and out will more or less be same minus the slippage that happens. But for general purpose, you can just take in as amount in USD or either side. And here also, I think you'll need a case. Yeah. So here when case tag is a buy. So the volume in case of a buy will be positive. So then let the amount USD be, so it is positive, let it be as is. Else, in the other case, when you're selling it, just take amount USD as is. Oops. But multiply it with the -1. Because volume that is being bought is always positive, and because even if you look at dex screeners, right, the buys are always in green, the sells are always in red, and they have some emoji or some fish or some other icon which shows the size of the trade. But the colors are distinguished by this, whether it's a sell or a buy, which is basically token in or out. So here you're combining all of this in a single field. The logic here is if it's a buy, the amount you're getting is going to be taken as positive. If it's a sell, it's going to be taken as negative. Else and as volume. So we have our tag, we have this. We can actually yep. Okay, running it. I did not use a group by. My God. The heck? Oh, okay. Tag. Because this is, we are not taking it as a aggregate, we're using it as a label, so use tag in the group by as well. So now that you have this, for the same day, we have buys and sells as volume. It's interesting, it's almost equal on these days. That is strange. Yeah, and that's your chart. Xi has a date. Volume, this is the combined volume. And what you can do here is group by the tag. And here is how you can plot the red, green, or whatever colors you want for the buy and sell. Here we go. Let's make it something green. Sell is usually reddish. Yeah. Now, the other thing you may want to do here is add a net volume logic, because I don't know how many of you folk use TradingView or some other charting thing for indicators and stuff, or whether you guys trade or not, but there are a lot of indicators. One of them is like net volume, which will be like if you want to see a coin being bullish, you'll almost always see the daily volume as you want it to have a positive net volume. So for that, since we already have this done, we'll do. So we have this done. Okay. We'll need another search to do. Okay. Yeah. We're going to use a table we already have. And we're just going to sum it up. Because in the other previous table, we have them split by buy and sell. So if you look at the column, they are different. But to get the net volume, we'll have to just do the sum again, sum volume. From base. Base is our very initial CTE. And here the group by is just going to be date. We aren't going to use the earlier group by we used, tag, which is the buy and sell field. Group by date. So in here, we'll do select star from base B. Let's join net wall on d.date is equal to v volume and net volume. Let's see how many errors I get now. Unexpected net wall. Wait, I can't read half the shit. 23, line 23. Oops. Okay, I forgot a buy and I got the error. 32 line 5, unexpected net wall. Left join. So here we had the chart, we had the buy and sells, but we needed the sum for each day. Now what you'll notice on the table is we have this doubled for both of these buy and sell individual tabs, but they are the same day. So what we'll have to do is add a little hack of dividing the same thing by 2. And in the chart, we can just add it as a line, net volume. And give it whatever color you want. So the net volume is more or less flat on most days. Wait, what the heck? Something is goofed. Yep. To add the field name again, because I modified the field name. So here you have the exact volume now. We are doing the divide by 2 because on the field, if you look at the table, it's correct. For net volume for that day is coming twice because that's how we have joined. I don't think there is a better way to do this to get the net volume, but this is like a standard code you can use everywhere else. Because if you're going to do any other token or any other change, the logic, the table names will change, but the token in, token out, all that concept, like in Solana, I think this will be the mint in, mint token or something of that sort over here. And the logic or how you get the sell and buy side of a swap, volumes of a swap, the net volume will be same. So I'll save the search, and like Apostle can like send these examples in a sheet or something for you guys to follow on, or I'll just make a sample dashboard which you guys can reference for the like this most common mistakes. Yeah, let me just revisit what the next stuff is. Understanding tables, transfers. The other thing is how many folks in the room have never figured out how to see how many holders a token has? Or how do you guys approach that if you want to query it? Does anyone in the audience have an answer or the approach? Anyone? Just a rough idea, like you don't have to mention the SQL, you can just tell me like what tables will you use or how will you approach to finding the holders of a token? Any token, it can be an NFT collection stock holders or any meme coin or just an ERC20 token. I will take that as most folk are not aware how to do it. Okay, we'll just
The chat box. Can you check the chat box?
wait. Okay, I'm on another tab. I was not checking the thing. One sec, my bad. Let me go back to the meets. Chat box, where's the chat box? Oh, I see it now. Okay, yes. Okay, for Ethereum, you have a current balance tracer. Tobeki says we use the transfer table. That is also correct. So, sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. Current balance is a very, very expensive table to keep and maintain for Ethereum. Like, ideally, you want just a balances table, but like that's very difficult to maintain because you have to keep each and every wallet's daily closing balance. So that adds up a lot of time. So now on Ethereum, we have a current balance table. That's a special table that's created using what Tobeki has suggested, a transfer table. So how you do something like that, and I'm assuming rest of the folks do not know that. And yeah, the current balance table is a convenience that is only on Ethereum. I do not think any of the other L2s or like other EVMs have that table. Let me just go check. Jumping back to which tab was I? Okay, yeah, so I'm back. Let's check where in Ethereum is it. Da, da, da. Stats, I think. No. Go. Which thing is it in? Does anyone have a clue which what where current balances is under for Ethereum? Let me check the chat. No replies. Okay. This is DeFi core. It should be here. Yep. Okay. Yeah. It's an undercore easy balance deltas. That's one thing. Easy current balances. So what easy current balances is basically token balances, holders. So current balances is, as per this table, you are only getting all the holders for that token as per the latest snapshot. So if you're running it now, it will depend on whenever that table has refreshed. That's your snapshot of the time. Mm, So how is that current balances table built? It's something like we go with we'll take Pepe itself as our token, because we'll continue carrying Pepe throughout the different searches that we do with base as this is blah blah blah. To build current balances, we'll use the easy token transfers. So let's just build a skeleton from where one is a good one, and what does the easy token transfers looks like? Raw amount symbol. I'm looking for the contract. Okay, the field is contract address. Wait, let me also check if Arbitrum has something. Easy native transfers, easy current. Yep, Arbitrum, and I think most of the L2s will not be having a current balances table. So for those cases, and I don't think other chains like Solana or anything will also have them, because Solana itself is a very huge chain and a pain to ingest and then make all these views on. So, mm, so what the logic here is, you want to sum and subtract all the tokens incoming to an address and outgoing from an address. So here we do address as wallet and easy token amount. And that's about all we need. So this is a true address where we're taking as, so this is true address in the sense wallet is taking an incoming transfer of a token. But that means so this wallet's balance will get increased, whatever amount he's receiving, but there'll be the sender wallet, which will getting his amount of that token deducted. So for that, what we'll do is union all, we'll make another copy of this exact thing, but we'll be changing the to address to be from address. So this is the sender side of things. And here the amount will not be amount, it will be negative, because for that wallet, the balance is getting deducted. So we'll just do the same trick we did in the previous search. Just multiply this with -1 as amount. So what this covers all our senders and receivers. Receivers will have their amount incremented, so we'll just leave it as amount. But the sender who is sending the token will have his balance deducted, so we are just doing it negate on the amount to get the negative value. So now we have from address, and we are keeping the wallet field equal so that we can easily do it a union. And our goal here is to select star. mm, Select wallet, and we'll sum all the amounts for that wallet from base. And the holders are obviously going to be uh, only the people with anything with a balance greater than 0. But let's just see for semantics what we get from the search union all. And since we are doing this on Ethereum and Pepe, it has been around for 1 year. So this search might take a while because there'll be so many transfers and stuff happening over a period of an year. And a group buy. I keep forgetting group buys in this session. Oh no. Line 17. Let me just minimize this to see. Unexpected. Oops. Where did that quote come from? I don't know. It might be a bit too many wallets, I guess. That's why the download is taking a while. More than 100,000, that is fine. But if you look at the balances, there are going to be some negative ones as well. So you want to add a condition here. Having is a SQL keyword, which you can, after aggregating or using group bys, you can use this after group by, but before order by. Having balance greater than 0. So this is how you will build a balance, current balance. This is the, like, as of whatever the last state of transfers table is, easy token transfers, the last updated time, that's the data we are getting. Current balances as per the last refresh of the easy token transfers model. It will still be more than that, I think. So what we'll do is just refine. What the heck? Now, this is for your non-fungible tokens, which is ERC20 normal tokens, which trade like cryptocurrencies. But for NFTs, there's a different hack that you can do, and you can get most of the holders with just one line. Total holders 255K. Let me just go check on Etherscan. Actually, never mind. I think this is more or less accurate. So this is ERC20. But what if you want to find the ballot holder counts of an NFT collection? So here, instead of the, what do you say, you can use the native token transfers table as well, because NFTs at the end of the day are tokens as well. But to keep it convenient, what we'll do is we'll use NFT transfer. Going to be a transfer table again. Easy, easy, easy. Wait. 3-minute NFT. NFT transfers. But like we did the previous logic, we can copy that exact logic here as well. But NFTs have a special property where every token in the collection has a unique token ID. Not all NFT collections work like that, but majority of them do. And for those that do work like that, where every token that is minted as part of the collection has a unique token ID. So it will usually start from 0 and keep getting incremented. If the supply is 10,000, it will go from 0, 1, 2 to 9999. but there are collections where there's just one token and it has multiple copies of it. So it will have like token ID 0, but there will be multiple people having that same token ID. There will be multiple tokens with that same token ID. So the logic that I'm going to the trick or the shortcut to get the holders of an LFT collection will only work under that condition that the token IDs are unique. There is only one token with the corresponding token ID. So the shorthand for that is, let's find the first NFT collection to look at. I'm going to take Milady collection on Ethereum. You can go to either Blur and get their contract address. I just went to OpenSea, contract is this. Yeah, so now here you can do select star, whatever. And this is where we are going to use a window function. So window functions let you do some calculations or add new fields within the search that you are using, or aggregates under as a running sum or over a particular clause in the group without needing a group by. Because I'll show you, we'll do a row number. Not sure how many folk have used Windows function before. Row number, blah, 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 over partition by. This works similar to a group by. Partition by token ID. What exactly is this field? Token ID, no underscore. It's just token ID. And we need the NFT2 address. Token ID. And order by, we are going to order it by block timestamp. We want to get the recent most transfer of a receiving holder. So that's why we are sorting it by descending order. And the partition we are doing for each token ID and holder, which is the NFT2 address. We do not care about the sender because the sender is going to transfer that particular token ID out. And the token ID is unique, so that for that sender, he's already going to lose it. So he's not going to be a holder of that token ID. So we do not care about the senders at all in this trick. And we're going to give it some random name, rank. And from it here, there's no need for a group by, there's no need for a thing. The only thing you want to do is you want to add a qualifier. So this qualify works on the fields you have generated with the window function. So here qualify will be rank equal to 1. We just want the very most recent transfer where the the recent most latest transfer for each token ID. Or actually this yep, qualify 1, and then that's it. Select count distinct holder. Wait, hold on. I forgot to mention the NFT address, my bad. And NFT. Oops. I need to get the address again. Sorry about the goof ups. It's like 1 a.m. for me over here. So the brain is running slow. That should be it. Yeah, so how I figured I was doing something wrong, but the search was running because it was taking too long. Because this shortcut is supposed to speed up your time to get the holders of an NFT collection, because you're not doing all the sums of all the transfers. You're only doing the transfer for that token ID, the recent most transfer. So you should be getting your results in like under 5 seconds. Whereas if you go to this, it's taking around 8 seconds for the overall search. So for normal tokens, you can do this. Like you have to take both the sub searches. One is from address, the sender's point of view, where the amount will be minus, and the other is the receiving wallets, where the amount will be positive, and then you just do a sum. You want to get the net balance, and the balance has to be greater than or equal to 0. Whereas for NFTs, you can directly go and do this trick, use a window function to get the latest transfer for each token ID and just get that receiving address, NFT2 address, that will be the holder. You do not need to care about the NFT from or the sender of that transfer. So that was one trick. Let me revisit the agenda again, transfer and other execs. So this was about this. Some of the other stuff is like majority of the folks are only doing stuff based on easy tables. Easy tables or just fact transactions for doing stuff like overview transaction counts, senders, active addresses. All that stuff is very basic. But if you actually want to grow as an analyst, you have to start pushing stuff that is not in the easy tables. And that will be stuff like new protocols that get launched. So like currently, most of the people are making dashboards on Blast L2's fantasy.top. This is like a trading as well as uh, a competitive gambling sort of app where like your score based on the card deck you have. Cards are based on Twitter profiles. Your score is influenced by what engagements the Twitter accounts are getting, and that's how contests and competitions happen there. But you won't see an easy table for this, so you have to go and decode stuff from the actual transactions, and for that you have to use the tables such as event logs. There's easy decoded event logs, but like if you want to actually get better, just go to fact event logs or fact decoded event logs as well. You will not find decoded event logs for the stuff that is launching on day one, but stuff that is launching on day one going viral. That is what will bring more traffic to your dashboard or to you as an analyst, because you were the first or one of the first few to actually make a dashboard on that topic. So how do you start as a new analyst start getting into decoding tables? One of the analysts from your group has actually done that. Let me try and find that submission. I think that was given a shout out as well in the Discord channel. Let me see where that is. Uh, feedback. Let me change what I'm sharing as well. Stop sharing. Okay, now I'm going to share a window, so it should be better. Ubasi, or I don't know how to pronounce the name. Are they in the call? Let me read the chat. I'm not sure if they are in the call.
Yeah, Tobechi is on the call.
Ah, okay, nice, nice. Okay, I see. Yeah, Tabichi and on. Yeah, I see them in the chat. Yeah, so this is a shout out table, and they are likely going to be getting a promotion out of the Silver League as well. So one thing is they have done a totally new dashboard, a new protocol, you can say. So this is Pendle. Pendle is like quite a popular thing for restakers right now because they have a lot of incentives, bribes going on there. You restake your ETH and then you deposit into Pendle. A lot of stuff. Even I don't know much about it. But if you look at this dashboard, there is a lot of stuff like depositing the yield assets and like how many people are depositing it. And if you go here, like this is not like just a standard, what do you call it, just going to uh, just using easy dex swaps or easy transfers. This is like a thorough dashboard that had to be done with all the, like you had to calculate also the prices of things, even because the easy, these tokens are new. So you'll have to calculate their prices separately. So this is, what is the search for? This is, yeah, weekly deposits, weekly yield asset volume. The yield asset that people are depositing into the protocol. So this is just like easy decoded logs. And even here as well, they are using particular event names, transfers. So what people I've seen people use, they like people do make dashboards on protocol, but what they use is they don't use decoded event logs. They don't use fact events. They just like they get the contact address of the protocol, and they just use the normal what do you call normal transfers, and they just hard code it. If it's coming into the contract, that means it's a deposit. But that's not like a sure shot way of doing it, because at times teams also do maintenance and like just maintenance activities where the team will withdraw it and like for just safekeeping or like send it to a cold wallet or whatever. Some they do a lot of maintenance of, even that will get counted as a withdraw or deposit in your code. But when you actually look at the contract level, if you pick up a random transaction, it'll have a very particular event happening, a transfer, and a function call as well. It'll have a proper function happening. So that is how you develop by looking beyond the easy tables, the easy swap, easy deck, easy transfers. You have to go into like these. This is again easy decoded, but I'll recommend you start with fact logs table. Let me go back to Studio. Wait, let me just stick to here. Yeah, Studio. So start every transaction, or like if you're going to even if you're doing just easy dex swap, run the easy dex swap, pick up a random transaction, go to ether scan or whatever L2 arb scan, op scan, and look at the logs over there. So I'll take let's just look at this transaction hash. So it is a transfer. Okay, it is a complicated transfer because it's doing something with the blur tool. Let's leave that for now. Because it will be, yeah. So this is a simple NFT transfer, but why is it happening? We don't know. Now you'll go to logs, approval, token ID. So these are the logs that happen for a simple NFT transfer. So in the easy tables, you'll just see it as one event, like sender, from, to, address, NFT on all those fields. But this is how the actual logs look like. And once you go to an actual protocol, let me open up a complicated dash, which I have done some time back. Just trying to find an example that has sufficient logs. Reading the chat. For Solana, I used to find a token held by a wallet. Yep, still core transfers or easy transfers, whichever. John? You are doing it for a particular wallet. So yeah, if you're filtering it just by a wallet, you have to make sure you're doing it for both that wallet as a to address or receiver, as well as the sender or from address. For EVMs, yep, still core transfers. Why is this taking so long? Okay, I'll just explain what was good about that dashboard. So you will have to start exploring the fact events, fact decoded logs, because you will not be getting that info from a normal transaction or an easy table. So Pendle is a new protocol. It doesn't have any easy table. Like we have easy tables for NFT marketplaces. We have easy tables for normal DeFi protocols like Aave, Compound, lending markets. But Pendle is also a DeFi protocol. Eigenlayer is also a DeFi protocol, but we do not have an easy table for that. So, and they are trending topics. So if you want to succeed as an analyst, you have to start doing newer stuff, not just the regular, okay, we are going to look at this meme coin with easy tables, or we're going to look at the overview stats of this NFT marketplace, because NFT marketplace is already passed, it's in the easy table, you can just straight away just use the easy table. But if you want to actually understand how those easy tables were made, you have to pick a NFT sale transaction and look at the logs, what all was happening. So those logs will actually tell you how to improve as an analyst. So here, like even if you go hold rewards and claims, even here, if you see like the person has decoded, none of this was from like your regular easy tables, easy deposits, easy withdrawals. It's not that. It's the table is easy, but it's easy decoded log event. So you have to actually understand what is going on for that protocol. You'll have to go read that protocol's documents and then make sense. Okay, what is this field? What is that field? Which you can use Etherscan or your Explorer as well, because they also tell you what is happening in that transaction at any given point. So let's just take this thing. I'll fork it. So a lot of other stuff is happening. We do not care about that. This is my fork with rewards as this. My screen is still visible, right? Yep. Okay. Yeah. We'll have a lit screen because we are just looking for examples. Why is this taking long? Contract name as Ashra token. These are decoded fields. This should not take this long. Hmm. Okay, there could be too many contracts with the Pendle string, but okay, yeah. We got our transaction hash, we go to Etherscan. Wait, okay, it's on Arbitrum. My brain is not working. Yeah, so if you go over here and if you look at this, so this is just a what? A reward claim. But that reward claim involves a lot of transfers happening. Where did I go? Yeah, it involves a lot of transfers happening for different type of reward tokens and a lot of other contract interactions because the reward token will also be need to be accounted for in the contract. It'll have to update its balances and all that stuff. So distribute all these functions that are happening. So if you over here, it'll just look like one transaction for where is the code? It's picking just one, but if we go mm, so ideally we should be seeing the same amount of logs for just one transaction over here too, because now we are just looking for that particular transaction, and it should not take more than 10 seconds. Yep, thank God. Yep, 96 rows. But now, since these are not your regular easy tables, you have to actually understand what actually the function calls are happening, which will be over here in the decoded log. So this is one of the decoded log, and it will have an equivalent function name as well. So even within that same transaction, or the same, what do you call it? Yeah, same transaction, there are multiple events happening. So say, for example, an NFT sale that happens. There are two transfers that happen. One is the transfer of the NFT to the buyer, and the other is the transfer of the tokens from the buyer to the person selling or to the escrow contract in between. So that's two or three events happening for an NFT sale. Now, this is your sophisticated DeFi protocol. So it has, for just the reward claim, it has 96 different function events happening for just one transaction. And from that transaction, you'll have to see, this is some, like you can read the event names. These are transfers, distribute, market, claim, reward. One of them will be the core function where the actual thing is happening, which you are interested in. So if we go back to the actual initial code, we are only interested in claim rewards. So we'll just search. We'll search here. Now, claim reward also has multiple stuff going on. Reward tokens, user, does the user change? Okay, user. So in the same claim reward, multiple users are getting rewarded the tokens or claiming. I think they have done a batch transaction for multiple users, or not sure. So I again do not have any clue. I'm just trying to give folks insight how the person who made the dashboard came to the conclusion. So you cannot just stick to easy tables. You'll have to get used to reading the Etherscan for the protocol you're doing. First, the very first step is jumping to the protocol's docs, because docs will have the contract addresses. Once you have the contract addresses, you can like look up that contract address and see what all, like this is the Pendle router. So remove, swap, exact token, all these are functions that are happening. Let's just take a look at our sample transaction. So this and add liquidity single token. So this is the origin function signature, which is a field in most of the tables. And even for adding just liquidity into a pool, it has 14 events, decoded fact events. Transfer, update, swap. But ignoring all the transfer stuff because that is the underlying functioning. Even I think the core event here is going to be add liquidity single token. It's going to tell you what markets is going to. So this is going to be the core function for that adding liquidity if you want to see adding liquidity. And if you're doing liquidity, you have to take into account both add liquidity and remove liquidity. So that's just an overview. I think we are about to hit the time limit. So this was me basically trying to convince people to move beyond the easy tables and doing newer protocols as they come through, and to hit or like even attempt a newer protocol, you have to like you have to put in the extra effort because it won't have an easy table readily passed for you. You have to stick to fact logs, fact decoded logs, and you have to go through the project's GitHub, whether it's a GitHub or it's a doc, wherever the docs are, or you might even have to, because the docs may not be updated, you might even have to like talk to their developers in their discords and like clarify any doubts, because you won't have anyone helping from Flipside, especially when you're doing a new protocol that's Flipside team hasn't thrown in as a easy table. But doing new protocols, doing the trending topics, like these days, there's a topic for the Ethereum L2 fees being quite reduced. But why is that happened? That's because of the EIP 4844. You can just write a technical dashboard on EIP 44. Just use the gas fees reductions, show the gas fees, how they're reducing, and then just do a technical write-up on how EIP 4844 works or how is it impacting. And Flipside has also added tables for them. But yeah, so because eventually, if you keep doing the same stuff, like weekly report of NFT markets, weekly report of one chain, like whatever chain, new users are coming into a chain, you yourself will get bored after a while, and your audience, like your Twitter following, your friends, or like people like other peers in your group, you will all start to feel like this is the same thing, like it's just a new chain, but I'm still doing the same exact thing that I've done for EVM or I've done for Solana. So new projects, new ecosystems, that's the challenge. And if you only stick to easy tables, you won't actually learn or grow as an analyst. So that is me trying to convince you all to push yourselves beyond the easy tables. And last section, I think only have 14 minutes at the 2 hour mark, or wait. No, it's only been 1 hour, 15 minutes. I had asked for just a 1 hour because I thought it would be sufficient, but I think we are pushing beyond an hour. So I'll keep it short, the next section. Yes, so the next section in the agenda was conduct, ethics, and brand. So what prompted the Silver League start was in turn the abuse we were seeing as reviewers. So the dashboards, there was just only one, what you call the trending page. And there was the concept of just a single top 40 earlier. So what we were seeing were like there were very, very low quality dashboards that were ending up there in the leaderboard. Now it's fine if you are a new analyst and your dashboard is coming in the leaderboard, as long as the dashboard has the quality to be there. But that was not the case, and all that is what has ended up in Flipside implementing the Silver League, so that the people who are actually putting in the work to make a quality dashboard, they still get rewarded in the usual league. But the others who are still trying to learn and improve, they also get payouts, but they are like shifted to a different league, because otherwise there's a discrepancy of like abuse. So this here is for the folks who are putting in the effort, the reviewers will leave the appropriate feedback and shout outs where the effort is being put in. But if you are still just like not putting in the effort, like you're using an easy table, you assume it's an easy table, I could just do a sum, but if you are summing it on the wrong field, so okay, I missed that part. This was the very first week when I was reviewing, even DEX swaps, people were summing something else entirely. Like if you want to get the USD value, you sum the amount USD field, but people were not even doing that. They were summing the amount of tokens as the volume. That is fine as well, but then assuming that to be the USD volume is very wrong. So that is one of the reasons we we had to add, what do you call it, the Silver League. So easy tables, or whenever you're trying to do something new, the first thing is just spend some time on this field. Or if you don't like to see the just this, and if this is also, you can also flip this. Where is the flip button? Where is the rotator? There used to be a rotate toggle somewhere here. Nope, not this. I'm not able to find it. Can I rotate this? Okay, I can rotate this, but not that. I do not know why. Okay, because it's a preview table, I guess. Yep. But yeah, whatever you're doing, always use the like easy tables are supposed to be the easiest tables you can get using straight off without having any context of how a swap works, because all the decoding and everything has already been done by the Flipside team. So you are just getting the exact swap and the exact values. You don't have to handle like, okay, what token is it and how many decimals does it have? How much do the token amount has to be divided by the decimals to get the actual token amount? Because the token amounts are always 10 to the power 18, I think, in most cases. And from that, you have to assume what is the total decimal to get the actual token amount. So all that is done handled by the flip side. But even here, there are multiple amount in fields, amount in and unadjusted. So amount in just as is the token amount. You cannot sum this and call it the USD amount. You have to particularly go for amount in USD or something like price USD. So that are some things to look out for, even as a learner. Like if you're using easy tables, that's fine, but do not make mistakes in the easy table itself, because that will like come in your feedback as well. The other thing is cautioning against Twitter brigading. Like person X has made a dashboard and it's all of you, like your community or like people from other, like some other brand managers, and just boosting that what do you call it, boosting that one particular tweet and its corresponding dashboard. So that, especially if the dashboard is not of a good quality, because if you're liking or retweeting that, that affects out to your audiences, that why is this person retweeting that stuff when that stuff is not that good. And the other thing is, because we actually go and review the tweets as well, not just the dashboard. We also go look at the tweets, the tweets engagement, and all the QTs, and like what is the kind of traffic that tweet is attracting. So it becomes very apparent when we see cases where kind of malpractice is going on, which is not good. And the other overall thing, like just liking a dashboard, liking a tweet because it's from your group, or that stuff is fine as long as the dashboard is good. So you should, like as your Twitter persona or your Twitter account, you're building your own brand. But if you keep indulging in these small practices, that will affect your audience at the end, as well as your growth, your brand's growth, and your own growth as an analyst. So that's about the ethic and the code of conduct side of things. I think that's about all I had. Yep. Any questions and answers? You can ask. I think there's a variety of experience that of analysts that there are in this group. Like Tobeki, Fakemi, and John. I think they are quite decently experienced. So you can ask away questions you have, or like problems you have hit in the recent topics of dashboards you have done. Or if like I have not reviewed all the submissions, the reviewers are split up into different groups for each batch each week of the leaderboard of Silver League. So there's multiple reviewers. But if you got a feedback you had a question about, but the feedback was not clear, you can shoot, or just any other general topic. Or you tried to solve a problem or a query, but you didn't manage to do it, you can go ahead and ask that as well. I'll just mute myself to drink water. Be right back.
Thank you very much for your time and for the insightful session. All right. We want to take few questions. So if you have questions with regards to the query, the explanations, or some things you did not really get a grasp of, you can always ask your question while he answers your question. So if you have any question, you can raise up your hand or mute yourself and ask your question.
Yeah, or just ask in the chat itself. I think people are more comfortable asking in the chat.
Yeah. Hello,
Okay,
can you hear me?
Topic.
Yep, I can
Yeah,
hear you.
hello. All right, cool, cool. I was wondering, could you like explain how to calculate TVL? Because I've not really grabbed it completely. You get so like how to calculate TVL because
TVL,
I've
okay.
not really got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
TVL of a protocol.
So TVL will generally include all the liquidity functions. Now, this could be add liquidity, remove liquidity for all the pools in that protocol. So,
Mm,
for example, Uniswap TVL, it'll be the liquidity added in all of their pair pools.
mm,
So, add liquidity,
okay,
remove liquidity. What else could be there? I think more
okay.
only two of
But,
these. Yeah.
but are there specific tables we should look into to calculate TVL?
So for Uniswap, there are liquidity tables for Uniswap and all major dexes. But if you are doing something fresh, you have to do it on your own. So for that, you'll have to look into add liquidity or whatever they're doing. So do you have any particular protocol in mind when you're discussing this?
Mm, yeah, Pendu. Pendu,
Okay,
funny enough,
Pendle. I
Pendu.
have
Yeah, yeah,
totally
Pendu.
not looked at it at all. So I have no clue. Let's just look at Pendle TVL. Let's just see what the TVL is as per DeFi Llama. And then Pendle TVL, quite a lot of it, almost 6 billion. Okay, let's go back.
I think there's a drop
Tab.
down for other chains, arbitrage, optimism. Yeah, in that dilemma. There should be a drop down there. But let's see.
Okay, no, I'm trying to see. Uh, yeah, but they are not showing TVL by what? Pendle price, pendulum liquidity.
Okay, try clicking that 5.86 billion. I think it's there.
Come again?
I don't know. Try clicking that 5.86, like that arrow close to 5.86 billion. No, to your left, to your left. Yeah, yeah, that arrow there, yeah.
Okay. Got
Yeah,
it, got
that
it, got
drop
it.
down here, yeah, exactly. So
Yeah,
that's
Ethereum.
arbitrage, yeah.
Yeah, Ethereum Arbitrum. Okay. So, and next thing is probably to go to Pendle Docs. Introduction to Pendle, blah blah blah. Token liquidity engines, yield tokenization. Because for like lending protocols, their TVL is all the liquidity that they have in their pools to borrow. So all the
Mm,
suppliers, like whether you are borrowing USDC, there will be USDC pools. So all the liquidity that has been supplied by the lenders into the pool. That's the like,
mm,
for example, Drift or no Camino or for Aave, it will be all the liquidity in the pools active
mm,
as of that point. So if you can, it'll be add liquidity or a supply XYZ token, USDC or some other token liquidity. So you will be summing all of that and that will be the TVL. So here,
all right.
Pendle is very complicated. All I did with regarding restaking was just deposit into EtherFi. I didn't do anything beyond that.
Mm,
Like Pendle is a tough one step beyond just restaking, right? It does pools all the restake tokens and then does some stuff over them. So this is too advanced for me because I prefer vanilla stuff. Yield tokenization, liquidity engines, order book. Yeah, buy Pendle. So there will be, if it's an order book, yep. Liquidity provider swaps, liquidity on vendor comprises PT as a assist wrap version of the underlying event. This means that LP earns yield from, yeah. So the AMM pools will be where you go for, find all the AMM pool addresses and see the sum up all the add remove liquidity, and that should be roughly the TVL. for the
All
AMM
right.
side of things. But the other deposits, I'm not sure how,
Okay, no problem.
because it's like Pendle AMM. So this is like the Uniswap version specific to their tokens which they have. So they need LP pools, but otherwise the trade or swap won't work. Pendle
Mm.
incentives. Da, da, da. But other than that, they all have all the other stuff as well, which I do not know anything about. Yep. So here. Also, the one thing is DeFi Llama can also be wrong about things, because DeFi Llama in turn just reports what the protocol is reporting, or like what Flipside or Dune is reporting for some things. They do not do their own. They don't do their own queries as such. They will either build an adapter with the protocol team and tell them, okay, you send us this data on this HTTP request, get post, and they just absorb that and then they just publish. So if you have good proof that your data is not matching and you're sure of your methodology, you can always ask someone in like go in Pendle Discord and see, or like or learn from Pendle team itself, because I think most of the Discord or project Discords have dedicated teams for that, for handling Discord queries, or just they'll have a ticket system there. Yep. Yeah. Sorry, I can't answer as well for Pendle because I am at
No
my
problem. No
limits.
problem. All good.
But
All good.
the approach is nice. Like the general for of like any protocol, whether it's a what do you call it, lending market, Pendle, restaking, EtherFi. EtherFi for EtherFi's example, because that's just a basic restaking one. Just go look at all the people who have deposited into their pools, EtherFi pools, or
Mm.
just holding EtherFi. So that will become its TVL. EtherFi holders and the amount held,
Mm.
plus the people who are depositing into their special pools. I think they have a lot of special pools. I do not touch those pools. I do not know what they do. But yeah, protocol TVL is basically all the liquidity that is locked up in a pool, which is in a simple way will just be the add and remove liquidity functions. But every protocol does it different way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you have a question
Yeah.
in the chat box, please. Can you check that?
Okay. Yeah.
You
Let me
can
get
be
back.
on
Yep.
Laird.
Okay. Can you recap why you used minus verb for the amount on from address? Okay. I'll open that query back up. The screen is still visible, right? Dex swaps basic. No. Token balances. Yeah. Token holders. 1 second. So yeah, token balances slash holders. So token to address. So here for normal tokens, not NFTs, what we are concerned with is the balance of the current of all the wallets. So when a wallet makes a transfer to another wallet, what happens is there's a sender and a receiver. Sender is the wallet that is sending the token. So from that wallet balance, the amount is always going to be deducted. And the receiver is the one who's going to receive the token. So for that case, the amount of tokens is going to be uh, added, or it'll be positive for that transaction. So that's why this is the to address. So this is the receiver. This is the receiver subsearch for. So here amount we want positive. But on the other side of that same transaction, there will be a sender. So from address is the sender. And wait, let me see. Sender, and yeah, so sender is the one sending out the token. So out means it will go from that wallet. So that's why we did the amount -1, so that once you sum the balances for that uh, group by wallet, the sending transactions will all sum the amount as negative, and if that wallet is receiving something as the receiver, it will get plus. So that will keep the math correct. I hope that answers your question, Fakimi. And Okay, next, Lyric, please can you do for Uniswap for a practical example? Uniswap, what exactly? Uh, TVL? Lyric? Okay, yeah. Okay, so that will be one equal to one in the select statement. Uh, okay, that was the very beginning of the session. Where do I have an example for that? Dexas basic, I think. Okay, Lyric, just a second. I'll answer the easier one. Uh, Organ Deco, your question is why did I use the one equal to one? So one equal to one actually does nothing, but what it does is it becomes the first clause of your where clause. So what you can do afterwards is just add an and before everything else. And if you want to, but if you didn't have an one equal to one, what you'll have to do is you'll have to make this your first clause. But if you're like debugging something, your query is not giving the proper answer, and you want to check if your clause where clauses are a problem, you want to comment this out. You commented this out, but now the problem is this and is invalid because this has become the first clause. So you'll have to, if you want to run it without an error, you'll have to remove this and. So if you want to bypass all of that and stuff and like keeping track of, okay, which is my first clause, you can just add where equal to one and then just keep adding and to every clause you add. And if you want to just comment out something, you can straight away comment it out and it won't affect you don't need to change the and over here. Okay, and now Lyric, coming back to your stuff. So I won't exactly do all the code because the previous stuff is you have to be very thorough. So I'll give you like a pseudocode SQL with like base. You want to get all the pools. You want to get all the LP pools. So find all LP pools for Uniswap. So these you can find from their docs, or you can just straight away go to the labels and like get a list of all the pool addresses. Once you have all the pool addresses, what you next want to do is just look at their add liquidity and remove liquidity events for each respective pool, and then just calculate the USD value. So for that given day, and then the cumulative TVL. But here the problem is Uniswap V1. I don't think Uniswap V1 is being used anywhere, but Uniswap V2 exists alongside Uniswap V3. And these two events, add liquidity, remove liquidity, they are different from V2 to V3. So it again becomes very complicated. So the first step for Uniswap to UEL will always be finding all the pool addresses. Once you have the pool addresses, you want to do something like LP events. Which will be basically select some. Again, this will be depending based on case when event equal to add or remove, because that will decide whether you are taking the amount added as positive or negative, as we did for the holders and as we did for the DEX swaps over here. Yeah, case when instead of token in, it will be the event name. Whether the event name is add liquidity, then amount USD. If it's remove liquidity, then the remove liquidity you multi-negate it, and that will be the net change for that. Now where did my search go? Okay, so that is the rough idea, and then this is just you'll have to build your pair filters very carefully based on like first you'll do where pools in your this search, select star, select addresses from pools, something along that line, because you've already found all the LP pools for Uniswap over here. And then you actually get to the exact filters you need for the functions like event name is equal to add liquidity and all that stuff. So this was Lyric's rough approach. It will not be an easy task because, and if you want to just practices, you can try and build your own stuff, take examples, and then verify it because Uniswap is already as an easy table. So if you go to not Avalanche, go to Ethereum, DeFi, dim, dim Dex liquidity pool. What is this? No, no. Uniswap V3. Easy LP actions is what you can use to verify whether your code or what logic you have built as a custom stuff is working as per expected. So easy LP actions, easy pools. So easy pools is just a table of where all the pool addresses are. So what you can skip this step and just use easy pools to get all the pool addresses. And then you can look at samples from easy LP, like take the preview table and look at, okay, so this is decreased okay, the function names are decreased liquidity, increased liquidity. So let's just take a transaction hash sample, see how it looks like in the Etherscan. Etherscan. It's going to have plenty of logs, only 8, not that bad. Uniswap V3 USDC, we do not care about this. Positions NFT, V3 positions are denoted as NFT. We want to collect. Yep, this is the event we are interested in. Liquidity amount 1 is 0. This is single-sided, or okay, they are removing from just one side of the thing. So here we can also look this transaction up. We look this transaction up in. Someone was asking how to get used to finding stuff in event logs. So we'll do a select star ethereum.core fact. Don't go to fact decoded stuff directly. You go to fact event logs, because decoded stuff makes a lot of stuff easier, but initially you will have to deal with it not being decoded, because for decoding you have to submit. For newer protocols you have to submit and then they start decoding it. You have to, there is a form or a there is a form where on Flipside where you can submit the new protocol contract addresses and ABIs, and then they get decoded. So any new protocol, it won't immediately get decoded. I'm not sure if Pendle. Okay, Pendle is being decoded because what is that name? I'm forgetting the name. Tobeki was already using decodedly easy decoded tables, so Pendle does get decoded because it is popular enough. But here is how we'll fact events. This is not easy decoded logs. This is, oh wait, what? Go fact event logs and transaction hash is equal to, I left a space in. So we should find at least how many what stuff was there? 8. And we have exact 8 events there. So you can map what, so our interest, function of interest, or where the most important values are. We do not care about burn. We do not care about transfer. This is just the user transferring or removing stuff from the pool. Collect, or we do not care about collect. We do not care about withdrawal. We kind of do, but it will all be summed up in the specially named function, which is decreased liquidity. So here we have all these 8 functions here as well. Origin function signature is also at times important, because origin function signature, if you look at, go to Etherscan and go back to the overview tab, you click more details. this will match. So the function name is multi-call and the signature is this. So this is the origin function signature field. And these are all the parameters being passed to it. The parameters we'll see, where did it go? Switching it back to logs, decreased liquidity, token ID and that stuff. But if you go to decreased liquidity over here, contract address, event, where's the event name field? Does it not have an event name field? Ethereum core. Event index, event logs ID, event name, event index, event remove, contract address, only data. Okay, shit. It's straight away data. Okay. Why am I not seeing the contract address? Okay. Where is the data field? I am seeing event index. Okay, this order seems to be goofed up. The docs or something are not updated. But okay, we look at this. Event index, sorted by event index, and then go over here. 156. This is the event index for that set of logs. Our interested event is 156. I'm just trying to give you a rough idea. Event index 156 is where that function is, and this is all the data. Oh, okay, here is the data field. Now data here is in this form of a long string. So here you also have to split the string into, how you split that string? Let me just, so this data string, right? If you're looking at the same exact thing in co.fact, decoded. This data string will be split up into a proper array with all the field and values. So I'll just show you that as well. So now we are here again. Event index, we sorted again. 156 is where that was happening. We now have event names being decoded, decreased liquidity, and decoded log. This is that exact long string that we saw of hex characters being decoded into proper values. But you can decode that same string using a logic which is not that easy to digest, because each hex string is like 64 characters. So you can use that logic to make an array by splitting the string into 64 length parts. So if the length of the string is, say, something like 128 characters, you have two parameters. You'll get the string into split into two, and then you do a hex to int. If you are sure it's an integer value in that. And how you can make out what values there are is using this, what do you call it? Like the token ID decimal, this is mentioned, token ID, liquidity will be an amount, and token 0, amount 1, amount 0. So that's how they decode it. This is the automatic decoding, but you can also pass that string. Let me show you an example of how to. I'm not sure if I have it on hand. Yeah, so this is one way. Once you have a data string which is in all hexamer characters, you use this regex substring. It's I can put this in the chat if you want to experiment with it. regex xp string, you take the input as the data field. You start from 3 because the starting of that string will be 0x. Uh, so 0 to 0x and something else, I think. You don't want to start from that because that is like garbage. You want the actual values which will be after 0x and everything else. So that's why you start the string, this function, the string starts from not 0 or 1, it starts from 3 and then it goes towards the very end of it. And this is just telling it to split it in chunks of 64 characters. And what you'll get in params is the array of actual hex strings. So if you know which argument is at which position of that array, you can do an hex to int. If it's an integer, hex to int, or if it's just a string, it will remain as a string. So this is some rough idea for who was this person, lyric. How do we get? Wait, let me scroll back to where. How do you do 1 equal to 1? I have a problem with my query. Oh wait, let me just go all the way back up. Is it possible to analyze data from a chain not available on Flipside? Ton blockchain. There are other data providers. One of them is Chainbase. You can try to write queries over there and then like use live query to move data from their queries to stuff that is like move it to like make. Has everyone used live query in this session? The folks present in this session? Like live query, you can use live query to get data from CoinGecko for prices or just stats. But you can also live query something you have, like you can live query a Google sheet. You can live query your own created query from one query to another. Because like if that query takes 500 seconds and you don't want to run it again, you can just make a new query and just live query the results of that query. That query won't run again. It will just fetch the saved results. So you can do a lot of stuff with live queries. So you can live query other data that you have already processed on some other platform. So for the example, that was Ton. If you know a provider which is free or not charging much, you can do the queries there and then just call their data on Flipside using live query. Okay. Daniel has, I have a problem with the query trying to find the average prices for all tokens listed on a protocol and then find the simple, okay. 1 second. Date trunk, date symbol, average price, Solana prices. Average price is average price. Okay. What is the issue? Oh, okay. You want to. Uh, okay, you want to pivot the date field. Okay, I'll come back to this. I'm not sure how to do it myself. We'll revisit this. Ademola Daniel, I hope I answered the like how to analyze a chain that is not on Flipside. The only approach to that is find a provider that has that chain, and like if they have dashboards, use those dashboards as well. But if you want to make it on Flipside, you can use live query. You can ask in SQL app for live query examples, like how to query stuff from another chain. I think some people have made dashboards with them as well. You can try and find those. Okay. Okay. Joel, I hope I have explained some of the like how to get started with the fact events and fact decoded events. Like if you are doing a new protocol, you have to like first go find all its addresses and what functions there are. Then find a sample transaction based on the address contract addresses that you found from their either their docs or like you have done a sample transaction on that new protocol. It's also risky to try out new protocols because you do not know if the protocol is trustworthy. So do not go rushing trying out new protocols because you will end up getting drained in like high chances of getting drained. So don't do that as well. But like once a protocol is trending on Twitter, you can try this. Uh,
All right. I know
yep,
we really have a lot to keep digging in, but
yeah.
we've come a long way, and I'm sure a lot of us have gotten more clarity into how to write or optimize our query. So I just want us to round up. I don't know. I want us to round up this session so that our guest or our facilitator can have time to catch some nap before dawn. Thank you so
Oh, okay.
much, Laughing Man. Thank you so
Can I
much.
take 3 minutes more? Just three. I'll cap it at 3 minutes because there are some quick questions that I can answer from the chat.
Awesome, then. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just take like 5 minutes more maximum. Yeah. So, Lyric, how do we get the accurate supply of a token? That's the same as balances. Calculate all the wallets that have a balance greater than equal to zero, greater than zero, and sum that amount of balances. That will give you the exact supply that is there. But you have to negate out something like the burn address 0x000 stuff. Yeah, vesting schedules and stuff is again tricky. Like in theory, the existing supply of a token is the balances held across all the wallets that are not zero. But everything else, like even CoinGecko at times is wrong because they are saying the supply is X, but the token is doing either burns, they are buying back their token and then sending it to the burn address or something of that nonsense, or there is vesting. So that is tricky. You can get the total supply. Circulating supply is like limited to a lot of terms and conditions with put by the team or the users, whatever they're doing. Joel, I hope I've like you'll have to start going out of your comfort zone and trying out new protocols, or like stop using easy tables for the simple things such as a Uniswap dex swap, and try and go decode it from the raw. Like take a transaction from easy dex swaps and try and look at that transaction in the fact events table and the fact decoded logs, and then you'll start getting an idea. Start from the stuff that is already decoded and then try and decode new stuff which is not having an easy decoded table, entries in the decoded table. So that's how to proceed. Yep. We are exactly 3 minutes left from 2 hours. So yeah. Yep. Over back to you, Apostle.
All
Yep.
right. Thank you very much.
Yep.
You know, for your time. So right now we'll be calling it a day. Please let's appreciate Laughing Man for taking his time out and sacrificing his time to be on this call with us. On his end, it should be around 2 a.m. By
Yep.
now.
2:30. All good. You're all good. I don't sleep till the US market closes anyway because I trade crypto, so I stay up till that time anyway.
Awesome. All
Not an
right
issue.
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Please let's appreciate him in the chat box. Let's give him
All
a
good.
follow on Twitter. His Twitter handle. Let me fetch it.
So any like if you're trying to do advanced stuff, feel free to ask in the SQL help channel as well. But always like when you ask questions there, right? Do the minimum required work. Like looking at the table descriptions, like which is like if you go to Studio, like always at least spend time before you straight away go asking for help. Like look at the tables. All the fields over here as well as the preview table, because that will give you the maximum idea of whatever you are trying to do with that table. Only once you get stuck, that's when you should ask for like further help, because even then like some people stop helping because you are asking for very basic things, but you can tell that you are new and you're trying to do this thing which you have never done before, and then people like there's quite a few helpful people. Sandesh is there's Flying Fish, and Sam usually helps out a lot as well. So yeah, but your goal as an analyst in crypto should be to do things, to try out and try and analyze as the new things as they come, because Flipside will take like 2 to 3 months or 1 month minimum to decode and add an easy table for a trending topic. By that time it's already an old topic. So that Pendle dashboard was pretty good, and like try and tackle more new interesting protocols like that. And even the experts or like already experienced folks, like they like it won't even be easy for them to go and do a dashboard on Pendle. These protocols are quite tough. So but if you don't try new things, you won't really grow beyond the easy tables. So yeah, it is important for your growth as an analyst to go do all that stuff. New protocols, undecoded stuff, going straight to the event logs, and then parsing the data field, extracting each column and their values. Yeah. Yep, that's all. I'm going to shut up now. Muting myself as well.
Yeah, thank you very much, Lafima. I hope would be able to have you on this session some other time.
Sure. We can
Awesome. Thank
do
you.
another session like after a month or so on specific advanced stuff. I'll have some
Yes,
examples and like
yes.
decode
We would
stuff.
have this monthly, so and that'll be fine.
Yep. All right. What time is it
Yeah.
there for you guys? Around 10?
Yeah, 10 p.m.
10 on a Friday. Why do you have this on a Friday evening?
Okay,
Should
so
be something.
it's weekend and people are more settled back at home, you know. So
Okay.
from Monday to Thursday is always a busy day,
Okay.
activities here and
Got
there.
it.
Yeah. So Friday
All
evenings
right.
are the best time to get people to attend webinars. Weekends, yeah. Friday evening,
Okay.
Saturday evening. Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah. Thanks for joining. Hopefully, I like at least solve some of the easier problems. Like the advanced concepts are like they are advanced for a reason because they are not easy. Even I don't know much
Yeah,
about bundle, and like calculating Uniswap TVL in a live session in like 10 minutes is not as easy. But yes, you can. There are already TVL dashboards for Uniswap. I think Cloud Ren makes them for Trader Joe. It'll be similar because Trader Joe is a fork of Uniswap V2. So you try and get them for look at those for inspiration on how to proceed. But yeah, advanced topics are not easy. So don't get disheartened that okay, I took this, I tried to decode it, and I failed. It is not easy. It won't happen. You won't immediately get expert in decoding them within a day. It'll take time and experience. But yeah.
absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for sparing your time to be on this call. We
Yep.
appreciate you all. Please do all to follow the Laughing Man on Twitter and also follow Analytics Sage on Twitter likewise. Please do all to also keep tabs on our posts. We'll be pushing out some other important informations. All right. So thank you very much, everyone, and have a good night rest. Bye, guys.